Shop Physical Therapy. My name is Catherine Price and I'm a physical therapist. I'm going to go over the Egoscue Method for chronic shoulder pain. The Egoscue Method is a method that uses postural alignment to help alleviate chronic pain in the body. And this is going to be a menu of exercises to address chronic shoulder pain. Before I begin, I'm going to speak a word of life from Psalms 147, 3-5. God heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He counts the number of the stars. He calls them all by name. Great is our Lord and mighty in power. His understanding is infinite. Amen. Follow along with me and I will take you right through this menu of exercises to address chronic shoulder pain. So if you are having pain in your shoulder, these are exercises that may be of benefit for you. Please consult your physical therapist or medical doctor to find if these are appropriate exercises for you to be doing. So the first one is going to be standing wall with block. And I am going to use a block. You can use a pillow. And you want to have a timer. So these exercises and postures are going to be timed. This is going to be 6 to 8 minutes. I'm going to place my heels against the wall. The block is going to go right between the knees. The heels are up against the wall. And I'm not squeezing the block. I'm just using enough pressure to hold it there. And then I am going to go ahead and start my timer. And my toes are going to be faced forward. My heels are up against the wall. Thighs are going to be contracted and tight. The hips are against the wall, and the upper back are against the wall, or is against the wall. You want to relax the arms down. The head can come to a rest on the wall. You don't want to force it there. You want the abdominals to stay relaxed. We'll work on some deep breathing while we're in this position. And the purpose of this is to position all the low joints. So you are working on holding your posture and loading the joints evenly and allowing for that alignment in the body. So heels are against the wall, hips are against the wall, upper back and abdominals are relaxed. When you breathe, you want to do a rib anchor. So you're taking those ribs and you're going to expand by pulling from the diaphragm or contracting the diaphragm. And the ribs should go nicely into the wall as you're pulling the breath in. And you want to focus on keeping the shoulders relaxed so that you're not bringing the shoulders towards the ears as you bring the breath in. So I'm going to take a breath in. And exhale slowly. Breathing in. And exhale. Paying attention that I don't bring my shoulders up into my ears, and breathing in. And exhaling. And checking in with my body. I want my thighs to be contracted, so I've got to engage those. My toes are facing forward. I've got just enough pressure to keep the block between my knees. Upper back is against the wall. Hips are against the wall. Taking a breath in. And exhaling. Breathing in. And exhale. Breathing in. And exhale. just over 3 minutes, so a little bit more than halfway done. It's gonna seem like a long time. And you may notice that muscles will be working that you have not been using, and those are gonna be postural muscles. So we want the postural muscles to engage so that they can support the joints and that we're not pulling on soft tissue and holding an alignment that contributes to the chronic pain in our body. So we are loading, working on the positioning of loaded joints. So taking a breath in and exhale. Breathing in. Ribs are anchoring against the wall. Exhale. Breathing in. And exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. And checking back in, are your thighs tight? Are your hips against the wall? Is your upper back against the wall? And taking a breath in. 1 more minute to go. So 4 deep breaths. Exhaling. Deep breath in. Exhaling. And that is 6 minutes. After the standing wall with block, I want to then sit on the edge of a chair. I'm going to have my toes facing forward, feet are hip width apart, or you're then going to place the pillow or block right between your knees. I want to tilt my hips slightly forward so that I get an arch in my low back, but I'm not trying to push it forward. It's a slight tilt in the hips, and then the spine should be stacked and lifted. And then I'm going to take my knees and press in and then relax. And I want to keep my abdominals relaxed. And then holding this posture, shoulders down and back, I'm going to squeeze and relax. We're going to do 3 sets of 10. So squeeze, relax. 1, squeeze, relax. 2, squeeze, relax. 3, squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a deep breath all the way out. Another set, squeezing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Hips are tilted slightly forwards. Last set, squeeze. 1, relax. 2, relax. 3, relax. 4, relax. 6, relax, 7, relax, 8, relax, 9, relax, 10. Then I'm going to do a sitting heel raise with the block. I am going to do the same. I'm just going to hold the block between my knees, and then I'm going to imagine an eggshell underneath my toes. I'm going to sit with my hips slightly tilted forward, and I'm going to lift my heels, but I'm not going to push down. I'm going to keep my toes contacted on the floor, but I'm going to lift using my hip flexor. So I'm going to lift from the groin area. So I'm going to lift the heels up using my hip flexor and then bring them back down. So I'm going to engage that hip flexor, lifting the heels and come back down. That's 2. I'm going to do 10, 3, back down, 4, back down, 5, back down, 6, back down, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I'm squeezing the block, but I'm lifting from the groin to get those heels up. We're going to do 2 more sets of 10, taking a deep breath in, all the way out. Another set of 10, and 1, relax, 2, relax, 3, relax, 4, relax, 5, relax, 6, relax, 7, relax, 8, relax, 9, relax, and 10. Relax, taking a deep breath in. Checking in, slight tilt hips forward, arch in the low back, squeezing in the block, and then lifting from the groin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and lifting, and 10. So that is 3 sets of 10 of the seated lift with a block. So you've got your standing against the wall, you're sitting, your pillow or your block squeeze, and then you're doing your lift. The next is going to be a 3-position toe raise. So I'm going to find a place at the wall, and I'm going to bring my feet facing forward, shoulder width apart, and I'm just going up onto my toes and then coming back down and doing that 10 times. 2, 3, back down, 4, down, 5, down, 6, down, 7, down, 8, down, 9, down, 10. And then I'm going to turn my toes in. So I'm going to do this with them internally rotated at the hips. So my heels are going to be further apart than my toes. And that's 3, down, 4, down, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I'm going to do heel raises with my toes turned out. And I'm going to go up 10 times here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to do 2 sets of 10. So from a different angle, what I'm doing, my heels are going to be in line. We're going to go straight up, straight down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I'm going to turn my toes in so my heels are further apart than my toes and go up 10 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to turn my toes out and go up and down 10 times here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 2 sets of 10 of the 3 position toe raises. And you just want to have your toes facing forward, turned in, and turned out, and 2 sets of 10 of those. The next is the wall stork. So you want to find a chair or a block or an ottoman, and you're going to put one leg so that it's in a 90-90 position, 90-degree bend in the knee, 90-degree bend in the hip. And I'm going to start my timer. I'm going to be up against the wall. The leg that is straight, the heel is against the wall, and I'm going to tighten that thigh. So I want to hold that leg straight. On the leg that is up in that 90-90 position, you want the shoulder to be against the wall and the hip to be against the wall. So you're just going to, and you want to hold the upper back against the wall, but you're focused on the leg that is up to the hip, and the shoulder is going to be placed up nicely against the wall. And just hold this position for 3 minutes. And then we'll switch and do the other side. So while you're holding, you're going to find that one may be harder than the other to do, or you may find that you have some good symmetry here. So you want to take some deep breaths in, all the way out. Deep breath in, all the way out, and deep breath in, and all the way out, and I'm constantly adjusting to hold my hip and my shoulder against the wall. This is the halfway point. Again, on this side that the leg is up in that 90-90 position, you want the hip and the shoulder to be up against the wall. You want to keep the upper back against the wall. And then the leg that is straight, you want to keep the thigh tight. Deep breath in. And feet facing forward. So check in to make sure that your feet are facing forward. Deep breath in, all the way out. Deep breath in. And about 30 seconds to go. And deep breath in, all the way out. Deep breath in, all the way out. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that is going to be 3 minutes on one side. Same thing on the other. Your heel is going to be up against the wall. You're going to take your other leg and keep the toes facing forward. My thigh is going to be tight on the leg that is against the wall. I want to keep my shoulder width stance. So you do want to have that that width of amount of space between the feet. And I'm going to have my heel against the wall on this leg that's straight, and then my hip and my upper and my shoulder against the wall on this side where my leg is up. And keeping my upper back against the wall and holding this position. Check in with your body that you're straight leg, you're keeping the thigh tight. Your hip and your shoulder against the wall and the leg that is up in that 90-90 position. Upper back is against the wall. And here we're almost halfway through. Tighten that thigh on that straight leg. Less than a minute to go. And you should feel the ribs pressing against the wall when you breathe in. So that's that rib anchor. Keeping the hip and the shoulder against the wall on the leg that is up and the upper back against the wall. Taking a deep breath in. And all the way out. And that is the completion of 3 minutes of the wall stork. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this ottoman, and I'm putting another pillow so that I can get in a 90-90 position. So this is going to be static back. And what I want to do is go up, or you can use a chair, but you want to get into a 90-90 position. And I am just going to hang out here. You want your back to be relaxed and resting onto the floor. The arms are going to be 45 degrees away from the body, the palms facing up, and you're just allowing the legs, the back, everything to relax. So what this does is it will relax the hip flexor and the back and allow those muscles involved when they are loaded, if there's compensation in those areas or those muscles, it allows these muscles to relax. And it's a great way to positionally release the hip flexor. It's great for the low back, and it's helping with the alignment. So you just want to stay in this position for 5 minutes. Same thing when you're in this position. So a lot of these for the shoulder are positional holds where you're staying in one position and holding them for a long period. So you want to hang out here for 5 minutes. It should feel really good. And the same thing you did standing, you want to just focus on the diaphragmatic breathing, breathing from the diaphragm as you're allowing the back to relax. And if you first get in this position and it's arched, as you stay here, you should feel the low back sink down into the floor. And you're just looking for it to completely relax and eventually contact the floor. And if you need to stay longer to get that relaxation in the back, that is absolutely fine. So taking a deep breath in, again, expanding the ribs, and the ribs anchored down into the floor, and you want to keep the shoulders from coming up towards your ears when you're breathing the breath in. So breathing in. And exhale. Breathing in. And exhale. halfway there, about 2.5 more minutes to go. And 2 more minutes. So when there's pain in the body will compensate and try to adjust. So we end up having abnormally loaded joints, and that ends up leading into chronic pain due to the pull in the body. So when you realign and you load the joints evenly, correctly, it helps to alleviate that constant feedback to the brain that there's a problem, which is the signal for the pain signal to let you know that there is a problem. And taking a breath in. 1 more minute to go. All right, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that is static back. The next is going to be progressive supine groin. And so what I'm going to do there, and you can do a setup, I'm going to use the ottoman. So you want one leg in a 90-90 position, and then you can be creative of how you're going to position your other leg. So I have a ladder. This is a step ladder, and I'm going to use the different, I've got it reversed so that I can place my heel up on the ladder. So, and I'm going to bring it a little bit further so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So I've got the ottoman set up so that I'm going to put one leg in that 90-90 position. So I've got my right leg in that 90-90 position, and then my left leg I'm going to rest on, and I want to stay in that 90-90 position. And this actually needs to get further away because I am going to rest my heel on the ladder. So what I'm going to do, I've got, and I'll go ahead and set the timer. So this I'm going to hold for each position is going to 3 minutes. My palms are going to be 45 degrees away from my body, and I'm going to keep them faced up. I want one leg in that 90-90 position, and then the opposite leg, the heel rested, and my toes, my thigh's going to be tight to keep the knee straight, and I'm going to pull that foot towards my head. So I'm going to hold that foot in a nice neutral position with the foot towards my head. And I'm just going to stay in this position for 3 minutes. And you want the heel resting. So I'm a little bit high, but I can move the ladder away, and you're going to rest the heel on. What you can do is stack a block. You can stack books, or you can find a chair, but you want to go down to different levels. So if you have a stack of books, you can start up high and then just remove the books as you go down. And so what you're doing is you are working on getting that hold, that postural hold in flexion extension, so in that forward backward movement, without the rotational component and the compensatory or the compensation from rotation. So you're just holding this position and you're halfway through on this. You can do as many different heights as you need to. So when you start at the highest, if the back is off the floor, you're just holding long enough, and you can even hold up to 5 minutes, but you want to allow the low back to relax down into the floor as you're holding this position. And so after holding 3 minutes, I'm going to go down two more layers. So I'm going to go down to the next step and then bring the foot all the way down to the floor. And I can feel my back is coming down to the floor. 20 seconds, so taking one nice deep breath. And then I'm going to just take that foot and go down to the next, and I don't want anything but my heel. So I'm going to scoot slightly forward so I'm not feeling that against the leg. I'm just having the heel contacted. Again, my palms are up and 45 degrees away from my body. And then I'm just holding that left leg straight, with the heel being propped and the toes facing back towards me. And then I just want to start to relax everything. So the heel stays propped. You can feel the front of the lower leg working to hold the toe back slightly. But then you want to relax into this position. And the shoulder menu tends to take a while because the positional holds are fairly lengthy. So working on flexion extension, so that forward backward movement without the rotational compensation. And so you want to make sure that the feet are not going from one side to the other, that they're staying straight up towards the ceiling. And one more minute to go, and then we're on to the last position. So let's focus on the breathing. Unless your back is arched off the floor, then you want to stay a little bit longer and see if you can get the back to relax to the floor. Seconds to go. And 5, I'm just going to straighten my leg all the way, and I need to back up just a little bit for this. So you want to stay in that position and then bring that leg all the way down to the floor. And so you're just then going to be in 90-90 on one side, and then the opposite leg is just going to come down to the floor, and you just want to keep the toes up towards the ceiling so that you're just, and it's the leg that's on the floor that you're going to focus on, keeping those toes up towards the ceiling. And holding this position, palms are going to be out 45 degrees facing up, and then you're going to be here for 3 minutes. So we'll do 2 more minutes, and then you want to do the same thing on the other side. And I'll just go through this with you so that you can go through the whole program or the whole menu. And there are 2 more exercises after the supine, the progressive supine groin exercise. Halfway there. And you want to try to allow the back to relax and come contacting closer towards the floor as the hip flexors, allowing the body to do that. Taking a deep breath in, all the way out. One more deep breath. And that completes the supine progressive groin on that side. I'm going to take the ladder and come to this side. And this is just so that you can see what I am doing. I'm going to lie on my back with my left leg over in that 90-90 position, and then do the same thing I did with the ottoman. I am going to do on this side. So my left leg is going to be up resting, and then my right heel, and I'm going to move the ladder away so that it is my heel resting. And let's see. So I've got my toe facing up, and then I am going to just stay in this position. I'm going to pull it back just a little bit more so you can see this. So just the heel, and then holding up, and palms are going to be out 45 degrees from the body, and holding this position, taking deep breaths in, all the way out. And what I would recommend is to place either a towel or something comfortable under the heel if it is uncomfortable to have the pressure of the heel on a book or You can even use a washcloth or a towel works just fine for a cushion barrier. So just holding this position, taking a deep breath in, all the way out. Looking for my back to be resting on the floor, so letting it sink down into the floor. And one more minute to go. And the hip flexor is attached to the diaphragm, so as you're working on those deep breaths and expanding and mobilizing the diaphragm, it will allow the tension to reduce to the attachment to the hip flexor and further allow the back to sink down. So the breath is important. 30 seconds. Deep breath in, all the way out. Deep breath in, all the way out. And breathing in. And that is 3 minutes. And then I'm going to take my foot and bring it down onto that next space. I am going to back up a little bit more. And so just take that heel and I'm going to rest it right on the next layer of books. It's about 5 to 8 inches down lower. That's what you're looking for. This may be a little bit more. And holding this position for another 3 minutes, allowing the flexion extension and holding the foot straight up towards the ceiling as to avoid those compensating rotational components. And when there's rotational imbalance in the lower body, it affects the position of the shoulder. And that is one reason you want to address the posture and the position, the loading of the joints all the way from the bottom up into in through the spine, and then allowing the joint placement to improve so that you don't have that chronic strain. And taking deep breaths in, all the way out. Deep breath in, all the way out. Deep breath in, all the way out. And I want just the heel to be resting, so none of the other part of the leg should be supported, just the heel. And toes facing back towards me. Pulling, you're going to feel the upper part of the lower leg working to hold that foot placement. And breathing in, all the way out. And Again, not forcing the back down, but trying to get that relaxation in that hip and the low back so that it starts to sink down to the floor. And 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to move the ladder and just have my foot come down to the floor, toes facing up, arms 45 degrees from the body, and then holding this position. And you don't want the toe or the foot to be drifting in or out. You want it to stay facing up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in. All the way out. Deep breath in. And you may notice that there are differences on one side of the body versus the other, that you're having to work harder to hold the position on one side versus the other. For example, I tend to have to work harder on this right side to hold my toe up, and I can notice that in the hip area. So it's working right now to realign my body, and these nice long holds are going to give that re-education to the body to realign and then improve that positioning. And at the same time, I'm feeling the low back relaxing and coming down to the floor. And one more minute, a little more than one more minute. So it's a long time. It's going to be 9 minutes on each side for the progressive supine groin. It's a 5-minute static back, just in that 90-90 position. 6 minutes against the wall. So these are a lot of prolonged holds. And just less than a minute to go. Seconds. And just looking down to check to make sure my toes facing up. And that is it. So that completes the supine groin. We're going to go right into the next. We just got 2 more to go, and that is it. So cats and dogs. So I'm going to come onto my mat. Hands are going to be underneath the shoulders, knees are going to be underneath the hips, and I'm just going to round out my back, dropping my head down, and then looking up, dropping my back down. So I'm going to go back and forth, smooth movements. 2, dropping down, looking up. 3, dropping down, looking up. 4, dropping down, looking up. 5, dropping down, looking up. 6, 7, 8, dropping down, looking up. 9, last one, and 10. And then air bench or a wall sit is going to be the last exercise for this menu. So I'm going to move my ottoman and use this wall. So So I want my feet, toes facing completely forward. I want to drop down into that 90-90 position, and I just want to hold my low back. So I'm going to have my spine against the wall, my upper back. My head is going to come against the wall, but I'm not going to force it there. I just want my low back and my upper back to be contacted, and my toes facing forward, and then just hanging out in this position and holding anywhere between 1 and 3 minutes. And that's the last exercise on this menu. And you can start out with 1 minute or even less and just build up to the time that you can continue to progressively hold longer and longer. So you're at 1 minute right now, so you can be done and come out of this position. If you want to hang out here, we'll go longer. And as you're breathing in, you want to anchor those ribs against the wall. You're halfway there, so it's 1.5 minutes. You should be feeling the work on the top of the thighs, so that nice quad contraction. One more minute to go. So we'll do 1 more minute, and that'll be the 3 minutes. Toes facing forward, back is contacted against the wall. Relaxing the arms down by your side. "45 seconds. "30 seconds. Almost done. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is 3 minutes. So that completes the exercise menu for chronic shoulder pain using the Egoscue method. I hope this is of help, and have a blessed day. Thank you.